Hey, welcome to Mira Developer. Today we are jumping into the absolute bedrock of all programming, variables and data types in Python. Seriously, everything you're ever going to build, whether it's a website or a crazy new AI, it all starts right here.
And you know what? That is no exaggeration. It's not just a clever line. This one single idea is the foundation of all code. If you can really master this, you are well on your way to writing real, powerful software. So let's make sure you get it, inside and out.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with what a variable even is, then look at Python's main building blocks, its data types. After that, we'll see how to make it all work together. I'll give you some pro tips on how to write clean code, and then you're going to write your very first lines.
Okay, let's do this. First things first, what in the world is a variable?
Honestly, it's that simple. Just picture a box. A variable is just a container, like a labeled box that you can put stuff in. You give that box a name, a label, and then you put some information inside it. So right here, we've got a box we labeled name, and inside we've stored the text John. That's it. Python just remembers what's in the box for us so we can use it later.
So if our variables are the boxes, what kind of stuff can we actually put inside them? Well, that's where data types come into play. There are a few main types in Python that you absolutely have to know.
First up, we've got integers, or int for short. Super simple, these are just whole numbers. No fractions, no decimals. Think of things like someone's age, or the year, or how many apples are in a basket. Just clean, whole numbers.
But what if you do need decimals? Well, for that, we have floats. Floats are absolutely crucial for anything that needs precision, like the price of a coffee, a weather temperature, or any kind of scientific measurement. So remember, if it has a decimal point, it's a float.
All right, what about text? For anything text-based, we use what's called a string, or str for short. A string is just any sequence of characters you wrap in quotes. It could be a single letter, a name, a city, a whole paragraph, it doesn't matter. If it's inside quotes, Python sees it as a string.
And finally, we have booleans, or bool. Now, this one is deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful. A boolean can only ever be one of two things, true or false. That's it. This is the foundation for all decision-making in your code. It's how you answer simple yes or no questions like, hey, is this user logged in?
Okay, so we've got our boxes, and we know the different kinds of things we can put in them. Now let's get to the fun part, actually making them do something useful. This is where the magic really starts to happen.
Now here's something really cool about Python. It's what we call dynamically typed. All that means is that Python is smart. You don't have to tell it, hey, this is a number or this is text. You just give a variable a value and Python figures out the type all on its own. It's super convenient. But a little pro tip for you. Even though you can change the type, it's good practice to keep it consistent. It'll save you from some confusing bugs down the road.
And this is a perfect example of variables in action. Look, we're not just working with the numbers 10 and 3. We're storing them in labeled boxes called price and quantity. Then, we do a little math and store the result in a new box called total. This is exactly how real-world apps work, whether they're calculating your shopping cart total or managing a bank balance.
Okay, so making your code work is one thing, but making it clean and understandable for you and for other humans is a whole different ballgame. So let's talk about how to name your variables like a pro.
Just take a look at this. On the left and on the right, the code does the exact same thing. But which one do you understand in half a second? Using descriptive names like price and quantity instead of just X and Y makes your code a million times easier to read. Trust me, your future self will thank you for this. Clear names aren't optional, they are essential.
So here are a few simple rules to live by. First, as we just saw, always use descriptive names. Second, in Python, the community standard is to use snake case. That just means all lowercase letters with underscore separating the words. And finally, a hard rule. You can't have spaces in your variable names. It just won't work.
All right, that is enough theory. The absolute fastest way to learn programming is by doing it, by getting your hands dirty. So, it's time to put all this knowledge into practice and write some code for real.
I really want you to do this. Pause the explainer, open up a Python environment, and type this out line by line. Create a string for the product name, an integer for the stock, and a float for the price. Then, use that print function to actually see what you've stored. Go on, give it a shot.
And there you have it. Let's just do a super quick recap of everything you've just accomplished. You now know that variables are basically just labeled boxes for your data.
You've met the big four data types: integers, floats, strings, and booleans. And most importantly, you've seen how to actually use them in a real program.
Think about that for a second. You have just mastered the single most fundamental concept in all of programming. These are the literal Lego bricks for everything that comes next. So, what's the first thing you want to build? What's the first idea you want to bring to life with this new power?
And believe me, this is just the beginning. In our very next explainer, we're going to seriously level up. We'll be looking at how to store multiple values, like a whole list of items, inside a single variable. That is where programming starts to get really, really powerful.
So if you found this helpful and you want to keep this journey going, do me a favor. Hit that like button, comment below with what you'd build first, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. This has been Mira Developer by Mira World. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.